I'll be reading to page 208. But I'm gonna play gameplay in the background. Alright. Chapter 30. Lunch. When Romy got to the lunchroom, most of the students had finished eating and were sitting at the tables in small groups, talking loudly, yelling, joking, and laughing. Trays were strewn all over the tables, and some were on the floor. Balled up lunch bags, broken pieces of cookie, orange peels, all decorated the table and floors. Romiette hated the way the kids kept the lunchroom, but she wasn't a one-woman cleanup crew. She looked for Julio at the back table near the soda machine. He sat with Ben, sipping a soda. Ben, who Romy knew at study hall that Bell, was making a design on his tray with Jello cubes. "Hi, Julio," Romy said with a soft smile. "What's up, Ben? What in the world are you doing?" "I'm making the world's greatest Jello sculpture. This may be worth lots of money one day. Where's your bud Destiny? Doesn't she have lunch this Bell?" "Destiny's probably in the volunteer room, tutoring. She likes working with the younger kids. They make me itch." "Aren't you supposed to be in study hall, Ben?" Alright. Where was I? Kids make me itch. Aren't you supposed to be in the study hall, Ben? Yeah, but I studied the hall and decided I had to get out of there. Besides, I had to check on my man Julio and your problems with our purple-wearing friends. I hate what they've done to purple. I had to get rid of all my purple hair dye because of them. Such a good color on me too. Julio laughed. Don't worry, Ben. There are enough other colors for you. Romy, did you eat yet? I had some chips earlier. I'm not hungry, she said. But Julio, we have a really big problem. That gang's out to get us. To get you. You're a target. Just because you're new and you're alone. So, you're a target just because you're new and alone. So they think. But you're not alone. You've got me. And me, added Ben. Although I have no idea what I could do to help. I see bad guys and I run the other way. It's always good to know if your friends got your back, Julio said with a smile. You'll never be alone, Ben promised. But I'm not sure what to do. The thought of being helpless at the mercy of thugs made Julio so mad he wanted to bite. What do you think they'll do? Jump me? He said angrily. I know how to watch my back. I can fight. I'm not afraid. We just left the place because of fear. I'm not gonna run away like my parents. Romy understood his anger and frustration. She touched his arm. Remember our silly fantasies, Julio? Maybe we need to invent a place where we'll be safe and far away from this trouble. Julio was still tense. He shook her hand off his arm. Where? On the moon? On Mars? On the moonlit beach? No, we've got to live in the real world, and they've got to let us. He smiled at her then, and put his hand on her arm. I won't let anything happen to you, Romy. I swear, I'd give my life for you. I told you that. I meant it. Ouch, Julio, Romy laughed uncomfortably. I sure hope you don't have to. I was just getting the hang of the hot sauce in my peanut butter sandwiches, she joked. Ben added, now that sounds like a good lunch. You have potential, Romy. Julio grinned. My long-range plan is to get you to drink hot sauce straight from the bottle. Dream on, Julio, she challenged him with a smile. But what do we do about the devil dogs in the meantime? Ben asked. We need a clear plan of defense by Monday, Romy said sensibly. Maybe we can figure this out Sunday when I come over to get the puppy, Romy, Julio suggested. Ben, I'll call you tonight. She gets the house call and I get the phone call. There is no justice in this land, Ben moaned. She's better looking than you, Julio grinned. But can she do a jello sculpture? Teased Ben. You win in that category, Ben, Romy laughed, as Ben tossed his masterpiece in the trash. There's the bell, said Julio. I gotta go. I'll be over Sunday at 3, Romy. Even my mom's getting excited about meeting you and giving you the puppy, Romy told him. You know, my mom's pretty understanding too, Julio mused with surprise. Parents do that, you know, Ben inserted into their conversation, just so we never know what to expect. It's planned confusion. You got that right, Romy agreed. Later, Ben, called Julio as Ben sauntered into the crowded hall. Ben waved and was swallowed in the confusion. I'll see you Sunday, Julio. I can't wait, Romy said shyly. Me either, Julio smiled, then ran to class. Saturday night. Destiny spends the night. Chapter 31, page 143. Destiny blew Romy's front door like a windstorm. She carried 2 book bags, a plastic bag full of hair curlers, 2 shoe boxes, a stack of CDs, and a large box wrapped in brown paper. Destiny always arrived with baggage, even if she was just stopping by to pick up an outfit or do homework. She stored much of it in her car, which is her traveling closet. Romy's mom just shook her head and let her in. Hey, Mrs. C, what's for dinner? Destiny greeted her with a quick kiss on the cheek. Vegetarian lasagna, Destiny. Your favorite. How'd you know, Mrs. C? You must be a psychic like me. No, Destiny. You called me yesterday and told me. Remember? Miss Capel laughed. Well, us psychics gotta be prepared, you know? Thanks for fixing it. Everybody around here likes it too. How's your mom? She's fine, Destiny replied as she grabbed a soda from the refrigerator. She still says she's going to quit the airlines, but until I learn how to teleport myself, I need her to work there so we can travel in the summer. Expands my world vision, you know? How very noble of you. Give her my best. Okay, where's Romy? Romiette is upstairs pretending to clean the room. I've seen it messy before, Mrs. C. I've seen your whole house messy. Actually, I think I helped mess it up last time. That's probably true. Get upstairs before I decide to make you wash the dishes, threatened Romy's mom. Destiny didn't have to be warned twice. Zooming, later Mrs. C, she ran up the steps to Romy's large and airy bedroom. "Hey Romy, what's up?" asked Destiny, as she tossed her stuff on Romy's bed. "What do you mean, what's up? Did you bring the package?" "What package?" Destiny replied in mock confusion. "Quit playing, girl. The system. Thought you didn't believe in that stuff. $44.99 of my money gives me the right to believe." "Where is it?" Romy asked. Right here." Destiny grinned with delight. "Did you open it yet?" "No, still in the wrapper. I figured that we should open it together." "Okay, as soon as it gets dark, we check it out. Did you bring the shoes?" "Yeah, did you want the green ones? I brought the black ones just in case." "Sweet. Now wear your pants with the white shirt. Do you think this will make me look fat?" "I don't know. Try it on. Let me see what you look like in the outfit." "I'm so huge, Julio's gonna think I'm a blimp. If he thought you were a blimp, he wouldn't be coming over tomorrow." "Chill." Romy slipped the slacks and shirt on, pushed her hair up off her face, and looked in the mirror. "What do you think?" "That white shirt's kind of boring. Try the green sweater." That's what I had out in the first place." Romy changed quickly. They wore each other's clothes and interchanged tops and pants and shoes so often that neither of them could remember whose outfit was whose originally. "That's the best," Destiny assured Romy. "You look just a little sweet, just a little sexy, and not fat." "Good. That's the look I was trying for." "Guess who called me just before you got here?" "Who?" "Malika Grimes." "What'd she want?" "Didn't she already hassle you on Friday at school?" "She basically called to threaten me again, I guess." Romy shrugged. "Warning me, she called it. She made it clear that I better stay away from Julio because the devil dogs didn't like him." "What do they care about Julio?" "They don't like him. They don't want us together." "Why? What'd he ever do to them?" Alright, be right back. Okay, where was I? Nothing, that's just it. He's new and he's not. Oh, okay, that's what. Okay. Why? What did he ever do to them? Nothing, that's just it. He's new and he's not black. Since when is there something wrong with being Spanish or Greek or Martian for that matter? You just can't tell. You just can't tell somebody how to live their life. You can if you're with the gangbangers. Romy sighed and sat on the bed. "You gotta be careful, Romy. Maybe you should tell your father," Destiny suggested. "Tell him what? That some girl who used to live down the street 4 years ago told me not to spend time with the new kid at school? That sounds stupid." "Just be careful. Promise me, okay? What could happen? Besides, Julio wouldn't let anything happen to me. He told me." "Girl, you got it bad." "Hey, I checked the star book for Julio's birthday." Destiny dug down into one of her bags and pulled out a well-read, much-used astrology book. Destiny didn't even brush her teeth in the morning without first checking her book. "What does it say?" Romy asked curiously. "Check this out. It says he's idealistic, passionate, and poetic. That's Julio. And it says he is drawn to magical possibilities and fiery relationships. That's me. And it also warns of danger of fire and water meeting. It warns you to be mindful of the consequences." Romy looked serious. "You know, most of that stuff is so general, it can apply to anybody. We just make it apply because we want to. But Julio and I were just talking about fire and water the other night. The two strongest forces in the universe. There's strength there too, as well as danger. Powerful vibes we're dealing with, Romy. What about the dream I've been having? Maybe we shouldn't mess with this dream stuff we bought." "No, you will have bad dreams tonight. No, you will not have bad dreams tonight because I'm here, and because we have the system. The stars are with us tonight, and dreams cannot hurt us." Do you really believe in all that stuff, Destiny?" "Believe it? I live it." "Yeah, but all the people in the world, how can all the hair?" It was a dark reddish color, and if it grew straight, it would have been down to her shoulders. But it was soft, puffy, curly, and had a mind of its own. Sometimes she braided to teach it a lesson, but her hair always won and would unbraid itself by the end of the day and curl into puffs of defiance. "I never questioned the stars. I simply trusted," she said quietly. Okay, that was chapter 31, page 148 out of 208. 60 pages left to go. Chapter 32, Julio and his father. Julio opened the front door and entered with a blast of chilly air. Spring was promised, but the evenings were still cold and damp. He carried a grocery bag and a small leash. His dad was reading the paper. What you got there, son? Did you bring any juice? I'm thirsty. Yeah, Mama said to bring some when I told her. I was walking down the store to get the dog food. You want a glass of apple juice? Sure, sounds great. What's with the dog food? I'm going to get the puppy tomorrow, Papa. From Romiette, the girl from school who I've been talking to. Remember? She's something really special, Papa. The young lady or the puppy? Very funny, Papa. Both, I guess. But I really like talking to Romiette. She makes me want to sing, and I can't even carry a tune. Julio, you're not getting too involved with that girl, are you? I don't like it. He took the glass of juice and set it down. Julio hated to disagree with his father, but there were some things his father had no business interfering with, and one of them was Romy. He bristled with instant anger. What do you mean you don't like it? You don't have to like it. I'm the one who likes her. I'm your father and you must obey me. Even as he said, Luis knew it sounded old-fashioned and stupid, but he felt like he had backed himself into a corner. You gotta be kidding. I'll obey you about doing my homework or calling when I'm out late, but I will not obey you for about who I see or I care about. You can't make a rule about my likes and dislikes, just like you can't make me like bananas or not like pizza. Try to understand, Julio. I speak from experience, Luis pleaded. Julio was not to be quiet yet. He was amazed at his reaction to this. He had never spoken to his father like that before. You speak from fear. You're old, and you've forgotten what it's like to be young and happy and maybe even in love. In love? Has it come to this already? You just met this girl. I never said I was in love. I said you forgot what it feels like. No, my son, I have not forgotten. Let me tell you a story about fear and about forgetting. When I was a young man, about 15 years old, and long before I met your mother, I was very much in love with a beautiful young woman. Her name was Angelina Rosina Diaz, and I knew that I would one day marry her. Her smile lit up my whole world. I would say that's how Romy makes me feel, but you don't want to hear it. Julio's face was set in anger. He sat on the sofa, waiting for the story he knew was coming. Let me finish, son. One day after school, even then there was trouble. She and I were walking home together. It was March 3rd. I will never forget that day. Anyway, a large group of young men, college boys, we found out later, drove by us. They were very loud and very drunk. They screamed obscenities at us and chased us off the road with their car. We were terrified and ran the ditch on the road, trying to escape that car. A fence blocked our escape across a field. They kept at us, purposely edging the car toward us, trying to knock us down. Angelina finally tripped and fell, and as the young men cheered, the car sped up, rolled over her, and crushed her. They drove off, then screaming and laughing. I held the bleeding Angelina in my arms until she died. I've heard that story before, Papa. I know it's saddened the rest of your life, but what does it have to do with me and my relationship with Romiette? I know you know the tale, Julio, but did you know young men in the car were black? I had a fear of black people since then, and what they can do. I will not allow you to develop a relationship with one of those people. One of those people? You think Romiette's related to those kids from a million years ago? Give me a break, Papa. No, but many of these black city children are somehow connected to gangs, or they know someone who is. I've read that in the paper. What a stupid, narrow statement, Julio shouted. You're putting everybody in one dirty pile. What about those black gang kids in Texas? They threaten you daily. That's one reason we left, you know? So did the Hispanic gangs, Papa. The world is changing. Our generation looks at people as humans, not as races. Suppose everybody looked at me as just a Hispanic. It is what you are. But I'm much more than that. I'm a musician and a swimmer, and a person able to make my own decisions. You can't do that for me. I will never sanction a relationship between you and a black girl. Luis stood then. Julio stood as well. He was as tall as his father. Nobody asked you to, he replied defiantly. There's a pause. I cannot help the way I feel, Luis finally admitted. I'm sorry you feel that way. Despite his anger, Julio really wanted his father to understand. But still, Luis would not budge. You cannot do this. You can't stop me. Don't fight me on this, Julio. You started it, Papa. Julio said sadly. Mama understands, he added. Your mother is soft and full of love for you. She refuses to see the dangers ahead. You will understand one day. I doubt it, Papa. What if I told you that some kids at school were treating me the same way you're acting towards Romy? Maybe they hate me because I'm the Mexican kid that reminded them of long ago tragedy. What do you mean? Is there trouble? No, there's not trouble. Nothing I can't handle. Just some bigots who think they can run the lives of other people just like you do. Why can't people just leave us alone? I just don't understand what difference it makes. It makes a difference to me, my son. It always will. Now tell me about this trouble at school. There's no trouble, Papa. Nothing at all. Believe me, I've got enough trouble right here at home. Julio stomped to his room, slammed the door. Everything seemed so unfair against him. It was still raining outside. Dark tears of rain poured steadily from the blue-black sky, spilling past his window. Even the sky could find no sunshine. He turned his stereo up as loud as it would go and let the music massage him. The vibrations thundered into his head, erasing the frustrations. He knew that the music was irritating his father, but he also knew that his dad wouldn't ask him to turn it down. It would be like admitting he was annoyed. So Julio kept it loud, knowing exactly the effect it was having. He wouldn't have done that if his mother had been home. She would have quietly come in and turned it down, and then asked him what was wrong. He couldn't fight with his mom. She was too gentle. His father was stubborn, just as he was, and had feelings like the bristles of a brush that scraped anyone who came too close. Parents are stupid, Julio thought, as the rain made the outside muddy and the music made the inside tense. What is it with old people and fear of somebody different? I'm 16 years old and he can't tell me what to do. They brought me here away from my friends and my school. I'm not going to let them ruin my life. He's not going to tell me who I should like or who I should see. He said Romy might be hooked up with the gangs. I never imagined he would be so dumb. Romy is a human being, a beautiful, smart, fiery one, and I don't care what my father says. And that was chapter 32, page 154. That's too sweet. Chapter 33, the scientific soulmate system. Page 154. Got 4 pages left. Romy and Destiny finished the dishes and tossed a bag of popcorn to the microwave. Romy's mom peeked into the kitchen. I love it when you come out over Destiny. It's the only time I can be sure Romy will do the dishes. That's just because I don't have to run upstairs right after dinner and call her mom, Romy replied. You ought to do what we do at our house, Destiny said with a grin. We just use paper plates. Not while I have 2 perfectly good dishwashers eating my lasagna, Roman's mom called back. The 2 girls laughed, grabbed their popcorn, and went outside to check on the puppies. Max, the black lab father, had little patience for his offspring who nipped at him and chased his tail. Mandy, their mother, was watchful and nurturing, making sure each of the 4 puppies, 2 black and 2 gold, were within sight. Destiny and Romy fed the dogs, gave them fresh water, and played with the pups a bit, letting them run across the backyard. At 7 weeks, they tried after just a few minutes. At 7 weeks, they tired after just a few minutes, and soon fell asleep in heaps on top of one another. Romy closed the gate and headed upstairs with Destiny. They took their showers, changed into the extra large t-shirts they both wore to sleep, put a CD into Romy's stereo, and finished off the popcorn. Waiting for the deep darkness of night to begin their experiment, they watched a movie and compared TV collection. Finally, Destiny could wait no longer. She picked up the brown paper wrapped package and shook it gently at Romy. Romy, let's open it, she said eagerly. Is the door locked? Who's gonna come in? There's nobody home but my mom. But yeah, it's locked. Okay, let her rip. Let's see. What do we have here? Let's see. What do we have? A candle? They call it the specially scented, sexually enhanced soulmate candle of dreams and desire. Smaller than it looks in this picture, but it smells good. Fast, just like they said. And here's the tape. The scientific specially recorded simulated stereo, sexually enhanced soulmate recording. Includes sound of nature and the human heartbeat. Wow. Good grief. Sounds like overkill to me. We'll play that in a minute. And this is the ointment. It's called the scientific soulmate soothing and stimulating dream enhancing salve of sensuous sensibilities. It says, use very small amount on the temple. Destiny was enjoying this process, but Romy was still doubtful. I guess so. Look how small the package is. Romy squinted her eyes to read the tiny directions printed on the little tube. It should only take one drink to reveal everything, Romy. How many soulmates do you think you have in this universe? Destiny replied matter of factly. Okay, okay. Don't let me dump in your cornflakes. What else is in the box, Destiny? The directions. It just typed sheet of paper. The scientific soulmate system. Guaranteed results or your money back. There's a tiny little asterisk in. There's a tiny little asterisk here. I guess it refers to the fine print at the bottom of the page. What does it say? I almost need glasses to read this. Guaranteed valid only in Asia and Africa. In the US, guaranteed valid only if package is unopened. Can you believe that? Well, so much for the money back guarantee. Doesn't look like we got much for 49. For 4. What? Well, so much. Well, so much for the money back guarantee. Doesn't look like we got much for $44.99 plus shipping. Romy lay back on her bed and laughed. I don't care, Destiny insisted. I believe in this. Me too, Romy conceded. Why not? Read the direction sheet. Before retiring, place the scientific specially recorded simulated stereo sexually enhanced soulmate recording, which includes the sounds of nature and the human heartbeat, into your tape player on a low setting. About 1 or 2. You should be able to hear it, but not loudly. The essence of dreams and silence. I like that one. Go on. And be right back. Wow. Alright. I like that one. Go on. Like the specially scented, sexually enhanced soulmate candle of dreams and desires. Being careful to use the scientifically designed special soulmate dream catcher vase that comes with it. Where's the vase? Oh yeah. I don't see it. There's a plastic cup in here. Is that it? Yep. It says on the bottom. Dream catcher made in Japan. Do you think we got Rook roaming? Destiny asked in one brief moment of doubt. Oh, here's a notebook and special dream pen. Let's see what they call them. The purple pages of passion, persuasion, and poetry, and the purple plume of poetic penmanship. You gotta give them credit. They're creative. Don't they sell these at the drugstore for 49 cents? Not in purple, Destiny replied. Dave, are you muted? Alright, I'm back. Non-purple. Think we waste our money. I reserve my judgment until morning, Destiny. Rose do the directions say. Place a small amount on the scientific soulmate, soothing and stimulating dream, enhancing salve of sensuous sensibilities on each temple. Only a tiny bit is necessary to capture the memory of the dream. Light the candle of dreams and desire, being careful to place it in especially dream catcher days. It is important that all the other lights in the room be in the off position for the scientific soulmate system to work most effectively. When you awaken, be sure to record the remnants of your dream on your purple pages of passion, persuasion, and poetry with your purple plume of poetic penmanship. Your soulmate is drifting in your consciousness. You must find him and bring him to reality. Hope, please, Romy threw a pillow at his Destiny. These folks must think we're stupid. Destiny dodged the pillow and tossed it back with the broom. You gotta believe, Romy. It sounds good to me. Turn the lights off. Wait, put the tape in first. Okay, press play. You ready? Ready as I'll ever be. What do you think of the music? We turned off our CD to listen to this. Romy laughed. Sounds like the music they play at the grocery store, Destiny. You gotta believe, Romy. You just gotta believe. Destiny insisted. I believe we just threw away $44.99 plus shipping and handling. Cost is of no importance, Romy. This is the moment of illumination. We are about to find our soulmates. Light the candle. Turn off the lights. Wait, we forgot the ointment. It smells good, like pepper. Ooh, the tingles. Okay, here we go. Lights off. Destiny flicked the light switch on the wall. Darkness surrounded them. All was silent for a moment, except for the thin music coming from the stereo. See anything, Destiny? Romy asked hopefully. No, but the candle smells good. Feel a dream coming on? Romy felt nothing. She hoped Destiny had better luck. Not yet. I feel hungry. Is there any popcorn left? Destiny ate constantly and never gained a pound. Forget your need for food. This is much too important. Sleep now and dream. How can I go to sleep? Destiny moaned. This is the worst music I've ever heard in my life. Destiny glanced at the digital clock radio that sat between the bed. She sat up suddenly. Oh my goodness, Romy. Look at the time. We almost missed it. Missed what? I was almost asleep. What are you talking about? Look at the clock. Destiny squealed with excitement. Oh, you're right. How could I be so stupid? 10 minutes after 11. Are you ready? Ready. Here comes the magic wishing time. 11 minutes after 11. 11:11 on the digital clock. Destiny and Roman had Destiny and Romy had been playing this game for years, even though they had long outgrown it. They did it almost consciously most of the time. When the clock read 3:33, that was a chance for a wish, and again at 4:44 and around the clock. But for only 2 minutes out of 24 hours, there are numbers in perfect alignment. At 11:11, those were the most powerful wishing times. I know what I'm wishing for, Destiny whispered. Shut up and wish, Destiny, Romy urged. Even though she didn't really believe all this, she figured there was no harm in a wish. And if somebody said that it was the best time to do it, then she wasn't missing the opportunity. Her eyes shut as the numbers 11:11 blinked onto the front of the clock. Did you wish for your soulmate to appear? Romy asked. You know the rules. Can't tell your wish. If you do, it won't come true, Romy. I know, Destiny. Did you ever catch the Fantastic Five? Once I got close. I wished on 111. Then I caught 222. Then at 3:33. I was in the bathroom, so I remembered just in time and caught it. Wished before it clicked over to 3:34. Then I just sat by the clock until 4:44. I knew I had it. I wished the same wish every time. Then my mom made me go to the grocery store with her at 5:30. I tried to explain that I would wait. I had to wait 25 minutes, but of course she wouldn't hear of such things. So I got in the store, looked frantically for a digital clock, but the time said we got out of the store. But by the time said we got out of the store, the clock in the car said 6:22. I was so upset, I never got that close since. I never got more than 3 in a row. I wonder what would happen if you caught the Fantastic Five and 11:11 as well. They say that if you wish the same wish on all of them, it's guaranteed to be granted. Plus, you get a bonus wish as well, for free. Destiny said with authority. Sounds like extra credit in school. Hey Romy, did you ever wonder who they is? You know how they say something will happen, or they think the world is changing? Destiny asked. Romy flopped back at her pillow and grinned at the darkness. She and Destiny often had the same weird questions. This was one she had considered often. Yep, she said, I think I figured it out. The they that everyone talks about are experts on everything is women. Women? Destiny repeated. Yeah. Men will never admit that women know everything. So when you hear the statement that they say the ozone layer is this, you know it's a woman's opinion being quoted by men. I like that. One day I'm gonna catch all those times on the clock. One day I'm gonna catch all those times on the clock. Destiny promised herself. I wonder what they will say. They will say that history has been made. Finally. By a woman, of course, added Romy. Of course. Good night, Romy. Dream on. The last time I talked to Julio on the computer, he signed off with sweet dreams. See there? Guaranteed no bad. Yeah? Thanks. For what? Nothing. Everything. Good night, Romy. Good night, Destiny. Julio's coming over tomorrow. Sleep. Okay, let me start again. See? Blah, 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 blah. See there? You didn't know bad. Destiny? Yeah? Thanks. For what? Nothing. Everything. Good night, Romy. Good night, Destiny. Who's coming over tomorrow? Please. Okay. Chapter 33, that was it. Ended on 163. Now chapter 34, Sunday morning. Man, this was boring. Anyways. Chapter 34, Sunday morning. Destiny woke up. She looked around and glanced at the clock, tried to remember if she had a dream at all. She felt mellow and well rested, and she seemed to remember music. Not the music from last night, which mercifully had shut off after 35 minutes. But loud, powerful, stimulating music. Then she remembered. Romy, wake up! I saw him! Who? Destiny said groggily. She always slept hard and she didn't awaken easily like Destiny. Romy didn't like early mornings, and lately she didn't like dreams either. My soulmate, Destiny insisted. The system works. What about you? Did you dream of Julio? What's wrong? I'm not sure. I did dream, but it's hazy and unclear. Was it Julio? Is he your soulmate? Yeah, I did dream of Julio, but it wasn't a good dream, Romy said slowly, trying to remember. It was the same dream again. We were running, and there was water all around, except this time there was fire too. The water was on fire. We were both screaming, and I don't know. Can't remember anything else. Maybe that stupid system does work. I thought it was supposed to give you a good dream. It's all the stuff about fire and water. That's proof it works, declared Destiny. Don't be afraid. Your star signs are fire and water. I knew the scientific soulmate system was worth the money. Destiny, I've been having the same dream for a week now. For free. No, Romy. You had it this time because of the piano, the music, and pointless. Destiny was determined to be a believer. What about you, Destiny? Did you dream about yourself? Yeah, I saw him. I'm not sure what he looks like. I kept seeing this rainbow, colors all around, red, blue, bright orange. And then we kept me close to it. Like to say he was fine. So fine. And I think he had freckles. Destiny got out of bed and danced around the room. Freckles? Was he black? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I remember something else. There was music. Lots of music. Loud, glorious, clanging, and opera music. Maybe you will get strong after all. Opera music? That was fascinating. Tony scratched her head and yawned. I'll switch this to song music. I think I'll have to expand my musical appreciation to opera too, because this dude's just too fine to pass up. I'll educate him about real music later. What's his name? I'm not sure. I know he's a poet, or maybe he's something like that. They're strong like a bull, and you know that I can marry, because that is my only cosmic match, and there are no boys in Cincinnati who fit these systems. That's true, though. Where does this dude live, Destiny? I will meet him in London. London? When will he go to England? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He will wait for me until I get there. It might be months, but I will know him when I see him. And he will know me, just like you and he. I like your trip, but the problem is just I may have to go to a problem with a lesser soul. In the meantime, I better find out where I can take me with lessons. I must be ready for my true soulmate in my life. Different side with acceptance. Speaking of ready, looks like I'm gonna get good weather this afternoon, and I only have 8 hours to get ready. Sorry I can't stick around, but I promised Mom I'd let her take me shopping this afternoon after church. Destiny gathered up her bag. You're so kind. Yeah, she needs me. Where else would she do this if she didn't have me? Call me after Julio leaves. Want you here every single weekend. You got it. Quickly just fixing it ran to the kitchen. You got any donuts? Jay yelled up the stairs to Romy. Look on the second floor from the refrigerator, Romy called down. Got it. Thanks, Romy. See ya. Call me at night. You get the first report with all the juicy details. Promise. That definitely breathed out the door to her cat. That was chapter 34. 41 pages left. Oh my gosh. Sunday afternoon, chapter 35. Romy checked the mirror one last time, then checked again. Her hair was perfect, makeup understated, her clothes casual, she ended up with Destiny's red hair, sweater and black. The woman's soft brown hair and golden brown skin complemented the dark humor. She had brushed it back and held it with her hair comb. It looked casual and unplanned, as though she had worked for that work for hours. Satisfied, finally she went to check to see that the counter was clear and the living room was tidy. Max, the black Labrador retriever, had slipped in the back door. She chased him out and wiped the floor where he'd left the paw print. She had ran the vacuum. The mother watched in mild amusement. Romy had never shown this much interest in the cleanness of the house. Everything looks fine, Romy, she called. Just relax, dear. I want him to think the wrong thing about us, Romy told her mother. I want everything to be just right, she added, as she fluffed a pillow on the sofa. This has Romy smiled, bro. Oh, Mom. I don't know why or how, but he makes me feel like I can fly. You met him at school? Well, it's a long story, but yeah. In Texas, Romy answered. She knew that trying to explain all the details of how they first met online would cause too many questions from her mother. These students from other places are always fresh. So much more interesting than the kids you see every day, right? Her mother said. If the new student is a boy, then fireworks are likely to happen. Am I right again? Miss Capella smiled. You're an old lady, Mom, Romy teased. She dodged as her mother tossed the sofa pillow at her. You better watch it, kid, she warned. This old lady's on. They chased each other for a moment, laughing and giggling. They landed together on the sofa. Romy touched her hair again. So open the door, her mom said, pushing her towards the door. You open the door. I don't want to look like I'm 2 inches. Okay, you insist. She made a face at Romy, opened the door, and smiled graciously at the nervous young man standing in front of her. Good afternoon, Mrs. Capel. I'm Julio Montague. Come on in, Julio. Romy's expecting you. Get down, Max, she said, being the big black dog who beat Julio as if he were his best friend. Max knows how to open the back door, and he keeps sneaking inside to get away from his kids. I guess. Max is our retriever, Daddy. He's not much too friendly and lovable. Maddie, the mom, is out back with the kids. She's a golden retriever. Have you had a retriever before? No, I had a retriever back in Texas. We had to leave there over there. Grateful to have something to do. Max, of course, was pleased to have so much attention. That must have been rough. What part of Texas are you from, Julio? Miss Capel looked around for Romy, who had disappeared into the kitchen. I'm from Texas. So I guess you... Oh, here's Romy. My friend from school who wants the puppies here, Romy. Romy completely ignored her mother. She saw only Julio. She smiled. Hola, Julio, Romy said, trying not to act as nervous as she felt. Hola, Romy. I like that outfit. You look like a beautiful flower. When I floor. Thanks, Julio. You like it. So fancy. Really cool. Romy blushed, pleased that he thought she was cool. When I see you, I see poetry. She whispered low enough so her mother wouldn't hear. Romy grinned. You're too much. I'm gonna have to keep you around. Mom, we'll be back. We'll be in back. Romy headed with Julio toward the back door. Her mom was collecting her keys and purse. That's fine, dear. I'm on my way to the shop. I have to do all those paperwork, so I should be back by 6. We'll have dinner then, okay? She picked up her briefcase and paused in the front door. Lock the door if you leave the house. Call me if you need to. You two behave yourselves, you hear me? We're just looking at puppies, Mom, Romy declared innocently. You say puppies, I hear poachers. I wasn't born yesterday, you know? Her mother gave her a smile. Okay, Mom, I know what you're saying. Romy was glad her mother was so perceptive. It was easier than having to. Most of the time, she just depended on her mother's intuition to figure things out. Then they talk about it. Give me a hug, Romy. If you keep grinning like that, your face is gonna pop. Call me at the shop, okay? Miss Capel seemed pleased that her daughter was so happy. Julia watched the two of them closely. Okay, Mama. Okay, Mama. Romy couldn't hold in the smile, even though she tried. See you later. I've got to get out. Bye. She left, and she could hear her car pulling out inside. Julia and Romy were alone in the kitchen. Lights so beautifully between them. Romy smiled as they headed out back door to the pen where the puppies were kept. The 4 puppies started yipping and jumping as soon as they saw them head their way. Julio grinned as soon as he saw them. Oh, they're awesome. 2 black ones, 2 gold. It's hard to decide. I know I want one of the gold ones. Oh, he picked up the smallest puppy and cuddled it. Romy nodded. I need you for that one. He reached for one of the black puppies. Come here, puppy. Oh, you're so soft. I can't bear to part with them. Julio, I want to keep them all, but 6 dogs is too much even for me. Dog love, and my mom is about at her limit. I was the one who convinced her to let Mandy her stage. So what shall we call your little one there? How about Taco? Suggested Julio as he let the little dog run. Perfect. She's the same color as the little taco shell. Both were quiet for a moment, watching the puppies romp and roll on the grass. Finally, Julio spoke. Your mom seems really nice. I can tell the 2 of you. She liked it. And she smiled that I know she knows me pretty well. Does she approve? Julio just wanted to know. Romy talked for a moment. She doesn't disapprove. She trusts me. Julio frowned, remembering that the words that had passed between him and his father. I had a big argument with my father last night. His father's words and stiff refusal to change still made Julio angry. About what? Romy asked gently. Julio sighed. You, life, fear, stuff like that. What about that? He doesn't even know. I know. That's why I told him. But he's set in his ways and he's afraid. We left Texas because of fear. I'm not afraid of fear, Julio, Romy said clearly. Your father will learn to understand. I hope so, Julio sighed. We don't talk very well together. They closed the gate to the dog pen and cleared the puppies from the house. He was content to rest in the Julio looked around at Romy. What an awesome house he was walking. I didn't think it'd be big. Big? Yeah. I don't think it's just fun. It reminds me of my grandfather's house. Big and Your grandfather with the 7 wives? Teased Romy. Only one at a time. Will you walk me halfway home, Romy? He asked. This has really been live, and I don't want it to end yet. Sure, she replied. Let me get my jacket. Have you got food and stuff? Yeah, I bought a puppy now and some kind of old blanket. Little Miss Taco here is even gonna sleep with me. I'm not gonna even touch him. He stopped by the door. He looked directly into Romy's face. She met his gaze with a smile. You were very pretty when you laughed. Romy tried not to blush. She didn't want him to laugh. I've got to keep you around, she quipped. You make me feel good. She tried to change the subject. It's still there, but you can tell spring's coming. You'll like it here in the spring. Everything's pale green and yellow. And even the air smells good. That made Julio think of home. You ought to see Corpus Christi in the spring, Pete countered. Things grow there that Cincinnati hasn't even discovered yet. You'd love it, full of color and brightness, just like you. They headed out the door into the cool sunlight. It was March, which meant it could snow or it could be 75 degrees, but the day was brisk, and their jackets felt cool. They looked at the ends of branches. They walked quietly in front of the long bank of trees that led to thick. They took turns holding the puppy, laughing as she chased Lily. I like to walk this place. What was probably acres of forest back when the world was young. All the developers left when they built these houses. I like to come down here in the summer and listen to the trees. Did the trees talk to Romy? Asked Julio seriously. She didn't seem to reply to his question. Yeah, you know they do. You know what I mean. I like the breeze and the silence. I can feel the magic in the air. But that's just not something you tell a kid who sits behind me in history class. It's the kind of thought I usually keep to myself. I knew you'd understand, said Romy. There's so little of natural stuff in the world. They looked at the trees together and listened as the branches whispered. That's just because you're a magical. Isn't too soft. Do you believe in that stuff? It's hard not to believe when Destiny's around. She's a trip for sure, said Romy. But she keeps the ride. She's a lot like Ben, Julio replied. Both of them are kind of free-spirited in their own way. It's hard to fit either of them into an ordinary box. You got that right, Romy smiled. It's nice having company for my walk. You often walk down here by yourself? Are you sure it's safe? It's only a couple blocks from home, and I usually have Max with me. Max, the wonder dog? The watchdog that hugs the robbers first and barks later? I see you got Max's number, Romy laughed. But at least he's good company for a walk in the woods. Better than me? No, you're better, because you don't stop and pee on every tree. I could if you like, Romy giggled. No, but thanks for offering. They laughed. They almost reached the halfway point, where Romy would leave Julio and go back home. Julio glanced behind them. Hey Romy, you see that car? It's driving awfully slow. She turned to look. I'm not sure. Was it behind us on the last block? I think you're right. Let's hurry up. My house is still a couple blocks away. We'll go there. I'm not letting you walk home alone. Julio, they're following us. Can't see in the window. They're blacked out. Doesn't look good, Romy, said Julio. But he tried to ease her fears and said, it's broad daylight on Sunday afternoon. We should be okay. But there's nobody out, Julio. Nobody walks anymore. And that car's still there. Just keep looking straight ahead. They walked faster and tried not to show their fear. Should we try to find a payphone? There's one about 2 blocks down, but nothing here is but trees in the woods. Then the car stopped. The 4 doors in the black Cadillac opened. As the on 4 purple heated youth eased out of each door, simultaneously. They slammed the doors and shut them. It was well rehearsed, and as intimidating as they meant it to be. They walked slowly toward Romiette and Julio. They all looked above the trees and hugged and smiled. They did not speak. They just stared. Only the puppy seemed unconcerned by the scene. She was asleep in Julio's pocket. Julio, relax. I'm not that good at actress. Finally, Paul's voice spoke. It was the same one who had sprained Julio in the bathroom. Julio, looking at it, if you were gutter trash. Nothing much, Julio replied, his voice steady. He was more angry than frightened at this point. The hooded boy said to him, your mama know you out with this foreigner? Mind your own business, Terrell. Leave us alone, Terrell, yelled Romy. Who I walk with is none of your business. Walk alone. You know what I'm saying? Instead of walking. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do about Tech-Mech? Can't be good. We checked with our other boys in Texas, found out you ain't in no gang. You got no protection at all now, man. Tell me he had the upper hand. I'm afraid of you. Just watch me wipe you all over. Just watch me wipe you all over the street. Julio knew he would get destroyed, trying to fight 4 boys at once. But his anger had taken over his reason. He had feeling weak and helpless. He lunged toward Carol. Julio was met by the barrel of a gun in his stomach. He inhaled and stood very still. Terror grinned with victory, but no laughter was in his face. Hey, look at Tex-Mex trying to fight me. Back off, Tex. This ain't no match for the steel of this gun here. Julio backed slowly away from his gun. His reason had returned suddenly, his anger reminded, but he was no fool. You can't do this, Julio declared. I'll fight all of you. Romy, trembling and quiet, hoped Julio wouldn't try. Terrell waved a gun at both of them. Don't even try it, Tex. We pack it, all of them. We just stand there in the dirt and listen. This was a plan to be no killing, but it couldn't. Don't make this more than it is. It's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from Romiette or we'll hurt you. That's a promise. And Romy, continue to hang out with this Tex-Mex here? We can't promise to protect you anymore. I don't want your protection, she shouted. Just leave us alone and crawl back in the hole you came out of. Terrell laughed, and his humorless laugh breathed his hot breath directly in Romy's face. She didn't flinch as he stared. She just looked at him with eyes of anger and frustration. Then with one swift lunge of his arm, he pushed her down into the dirt. Oops, there goes the neighborhood, mocked Terrell. Looks like Romy fell. Better be more careful, Romiette. There's a warning. We don't play. Julio could take no more. Don't you touch her, he shouted. He tried again to lunge at Terrell, but the other three devil dogs stepped in and held Julio back. Terrell put the gun in Julio's face. We had it. We done. We done said what we had to say. They walked slowly back to the car, knowing they wouldn't be chased or stopped. They opened the door and seized and closed all four units. They drove off and fluttered. Tires screeching, then all was silent. You okay, Romy? Julio asked gently. Yeah, I'm fine, but I'm scared enough to pee and mad enough to spit. I'd like to do more than spit. Why are they sweating us? Julio could still smell the steel of that gun in his face. Let's get out of here, Julio. Just take me home. Please. Julio replied. You know, the only one who'd never noticed the problem was little Taco here. She slept through the whole thing. She took the dog out of Julio's pockets and stroked its soft, silky head. Tell your parents about Romy? Julio asked. Do you think we should tell your parents? What? Do you think we tell your parents? What? Whatever. Should we tell your parents, Romy? Julio asked. He was so fierce, partly at what the gangs had done to their afternoon, and partly at his inability to fight back. If we tell my dad, he'll call me. Payback wouldn't be done. My dad, give him reason to. If we tell my dad, that would just give us reason to each other. You think everybody somehow involved in it. We don't think of someone. There's gotta be a way for us to work this out ourselves, Julio. Romy said without much conviction. Go to the police. It's only a matter of time before they get one of us in court. You're right. I've seen it happen in Texas. Kid goes to police one week, next week same police find that kid dead. Julio said soberly. We have to figure out this way to stop them without involving the authorities. But how, Julio? Romy moaned. I don't know, Romy. Not yet. Julio frowned. The wind had turned cold and the sun had disappeared behind the clouds. They all had guns, Julio, Romy whispered. Both were silent as they walked back to Romy's house. The puppy, unconcerned, stepped soundly in the door. That was chapter 35, page 181. Blah. Um, 27 more pages. Damn. Yeah, okay. What time is it? 8:45. Alright. Chapter 36. Oh shoot, there's comments. I couldn't watch the stream because I was texting Lauren, girl I like, but the gameplay audio is louder than the voice. Ah, my bad. Okay. Chapter 36, the 6 o'clock evening news, Sunday. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Channel 6. This is the news. I'm Cornel Capel, and with me is Nanette Norris. Good evening, Nanette. Hello, Cornel. I like your tie. In the news tonight, your taxes are going up. The temperature is going down. We'll have a report on the new ride coming to Kings Island, which goes both up and down. Thank you, Nanette. Also, tonight we'll begin our special report on teenage gangs in our city. Who joins these gangs? What danger do gangs pose? What is the potential for gang violence here in Cincinnati? Surely we don't have to worry about gangs here in Cincinnati, do we, Coral? Cornell, we've taught our kids just say no. We've got great kids here. For other cities, they don't seem to be quite as well. That's part of what we're trying to find out in the net. Our city is certainly not immune. In other news, we look at the problem of the buildup of nuclear weapons in third world countries and the problems caused by the recent move to increase nuclear proliferation. And I'll have my report on the problems too much peanut butter in our diet, as well as an interview with a farmer who found a frog with 2 heads. Let's pause here for a station break. I'm Cornel Capel, and we'll be right back. That's chapter 36, page 183. Chapter 37, Monday at lunch. The bell rang for lunch, and Romy, for once, was hungry. She hurried up the steps to the cafeteria so she could beat the long lines. She grabbed a salad, a bag of cashews, and apple juice, and paid for it just as some 9th grade boys stormed the lunch line. They had just left the gym. It was noticeable, Romy thought. Romy thought she had never smelled anything so disgusting. Dozens of sweaty boys crowded into a hot cafeteria. She hurried to a table in the back. Ben was already sitting there, legs propped up on the table, his blue hair in braids, this time wearing a t-shirt that read, "Save the Whales," as he was sipping soda, and from the wrappings of the table he had already eaten several snack cakes and bags of peanuts. Alright, before I continue, I've almost forgot to say something. Alright, so in chapter, I think 34, they were using the system thing they bought, and Destiny said she met a guy, she saw a lot of colors, and they would meet in London, and then the chapter after that, Romy and Julio were walking in London, something, which is not in England, it's a park thing, and so that's where I think Destiny and Ben will meet, because Ben has a lot of colors, as Destiny said. Ben has a lot of colors in his gator, and Destiny saw a lot of colors, so I'm gonna think Destiny and Ben are gonna happen, I guess. Anyways, continuing. "Hey Ben," Romy called. "Your usual healthy lunch, I see." "Carbohydrates are my life," Ben declared as he reached into his book bag and grabbed a bag of potato chips. "Your blood vessels are simply going to explode one day, Ben," Romy joked. "How do you manage to skip study hall so successfully and eat lunch with us every day?" "It's easy," Ben grinned. "I simply ask to go to the bathroom and I don't come back." "Don't they look for you or wonder why you haven't returned?" "It must be because I blend into crowds so well, they just never notice." Ben chuckled as he dug into a bag of chips. Romy sprinkled the cashews over the salad, added a dab of dressing, and on the first dab into the food, broke the little plastic fork that came with it. "I hate when that happens," she complained. She went to the line, got a replacement, but not without an argument from the lunch lady, who was sure the only one plastic fork per student was allowed. Romy took 2 and walked away. Destiny ran breathlessly to the table and tossed her book bag under it. She always brought her lunch because she didn't eat meat, and the cafeteria didn't always serve food she thought was plateable. She unloaded 3 plastic food containers, a thermos of soup, a thermos of juice, an apple, and a plastic bag with silverware and a napkin. "What's up?" she said finally. Ben watched her with awe. "Do you do this every day?" Ben asked in amazement. "Do what?" Destiny replied as she poured her soup in the thermos cup. "Bring your kitchen in your book bag. I believe in taking care of this temple, my body. because I am the goddess who lives within it. I like your attitude, Destiny. Ben grinned with admiration. Do you ever eat junk food? Only on weekends, admitted Destiny with a laugh. Hey Romy, where's Julio? Here he comes, Romy answered as Julio smiled at her across the cafeteria. His long legs carried him across the large, noisy room quickly, and he plopped him into the chair across from Romy. Hola amigos, he greeted everyone, but his eyes were on Romy. Hi Julio, Romy smiled. How's the puppy? When I called you last night after I finally got home from our adventure, she was scared and whimpering, but she's fine now. When I left for school, she was asleep on my bed. My mother's gonna have a fit when she finds her there. Moms love puppies, Ben said. Don't worry. Yeah, we got enough to worry about, Destiny sighed. So, what are we gonna do about the devil dogs? Julio said finally. Maybe we should tell the teacher something, Destiny just suggested. Right, Destiny, Julio snorted. To be good kids. Kiss them on the forehead and send them out to sin no more. No way. Julio's right, Ben nodded. Nobody's going to listen to us or be able to do anything. We've got to solve this ourselves. Romy tossed her trash in the wastebasket. She sipped her juice and thought for a moment. Sure, Ben, she said finally. I can see you walking up to the devil dogs and saying, Hi, I'm Ben. I've got purple hair and a kind of heart. Can I talk to you guys about some problems we've been having with your gang? Ben pretended to fall out of his chair. They'll take my kind heart and wrap it up around purple hair. Purple's their color though, right? That's why I haven't dyed my hair with any of those truly beautiful violet shades since they came around. Somehow, laughed Destiny, I think purple hair is not the purple the devil dogs are looking for, man. I need you alive. Julio sighed. I've had experience with gangs. I know the only way we can stop them from swinging is to make it so it's not fun or safe for them to do it. Romy nodded. We've got to be smarter than they are. Four of us have to be a smart bunch of thugs. Destiny cleared away her lunch containers and tossed them back to her book bag. She fixed her lipstick, checked her hair, and chewed a piece of gum to sweeten her breath. Destiny always wanted to be prepared just in case her soulmate should walk around the corner. I've got an idea, she said finally. Does this have anything to do with the stars, Destiny? Ben wondered. Well, sort of. According to my charts, the next 3 days are destined to be full of danger and excitement. Danger for who? For you? Asked Ben. Well, actually, Destiny admitted, it's predicted for Julio and Romy. My chart says I should start a new diet. Thanks a lot, Julio chuckled. You risk our lives with your It's all perfectly safe, I think, continued Destiny. There is one part I couldn't figure out. I have to get the advanced book for that. You think? Ben asked. Romy wanted to trust Destiny's books, charts, and hunches. Let her finish. What's your idea, Destiny? Romy, your dad's station is doing a series of reports on gangs in the U.S. and the possibility of gangs here, right? Destiny started. Yeah, they're on TV station. Yeah, they are. TV station are always the last to know, Romy answered. I can't believe they just figured out that gangs might be here. We know they are, added Ben. Anyway, what does Romy's dad have to do with this? Who do you want to know? Ben calls your dad. Ben. Yeah, Ben calls your dad. Ben calls your dad, Romy, and tells him of his suspicion about kids being in gangs at our school and gets him on the case. I'm with you so far. Dad would love to do that, Romy said. Go on, Destiny. Then Romy's dad, the Secret Six investigative news team followed the Devil Dogs with a hidden camera, catch them threatening Romy and Julio exposed on TV. When your dad finds out it's you, the cameras will already be rolling and he can't blow his cover, or you might get hurt. Romy shook her head. My dad would never agree to use me to catch them. It's too dangerous. You're right, admitted Destiny, but it sounded good for a moment. Maybe your idea can still work, Destiny, Julio said thoughtfully. We know that gang kids like that work best in secret, right? Right, agreed Ben. They don't want their mamas to know what they do. Exposure might destroy them. It might destroy us too, Romy added gloomily. What if we did the filming instead of your dad? Suggested Julio. I'm not sure, Julio. First, it's dangerous. Second, it's stupid. And third, we don't have a camera. Destiny reasoned. This is where Ben of the multicolored hair comes in. What about my new mini cam? Ben was unbraiding his hair. It was not now only blue, but curly. What mini cam, Ben? Julio asked. My dad got it for me for Christmas when he was in Japan. It's small enough to fit in a pocket and takes both video and audio. Picture's not real clear, but it's effective. Let me get this straight, Romy said. We tape them hassling us and use tape against them, and they're just gonna stand there and let us do it? The camera will be hidden. Ben was becoming doubtful of his own plan. Where? Demanded Destiny. In my pocket, Julio declared with fine. finality. I will tape these suckers and get over with. Ben said, You said you always wanted to be a TV man, Julio. Here's your chance. This wasn't exactly what I had in mind, though, Julio said quietly. This is dangerous, but the way I see it, we have no choice. This way we have proof of their threats, and we can take tape to Romy's dad of the gang exposed. Romy, are you willing to do this? I trust you, Julio, and we won't be alone. We've got Ben and Destiny for backup, Romy added. Destiny looked at Ben. Ben looked at Destiny. Both burst out laughing at the same time. We got your back, girlfriend, Destiny declared. Ben tried to get serious. Let's get our plan straight now. Romy, you and Julio walk near London Woods again. Tonight. Just like yesterday. Don't go into the woods. Don't go into the woods. We have to be able to see. Me and Destiny will be right behind you at all times in my car. What about my car? Destiny said. It's cuter than yours. Be for real. Your car is bright red with flowers and butterflies all over it. We don't want them to notice us, remember? Now my car is small and brown and ugly. I never get traffic tickets. I just blend in with the scenery. And I have to ride in that. Destiny sighed and rolled her eyes at Romy. What if something goes wrong? Romy asked seriously. We've got the car phone. We'll call for help at any time, Destiny assured her. I don't know, Destiny. I have a bad feeling about this. Despite her talk, Romy had never really done anything dangerous in her life. She was scared of what they were about to do, but she was more afraid to go to the authorities. She felt that Julio was probably right about gang retaliation. They had no choice. I'm scared, Julio. She looked directly into his eyes. I won't let anything happen to you, Romy. I swear. Julio touched her hand gently. But we've got to end this. You're right. I know. Let's do it. Ben looked at the far end of the cafeteria. The devil dogs, 7 of them, marched into the room. They worked the tables, quietly collecting chips, soda, and sandwiches from students who offered no resistance. The teachers who were cafeteria monitors noticed nothing. A young man in purple would stop at a table, smile, make pleasant conversation, smoothly pocket a sandwich from each person at the table. Those students never smiled. They just paid their lunch fee to the gang and sighed with relief when they left. The some boys headed to the back where Ben, Romy, Destiny, and Julio were sitting. It was almost time for the bell. Here they come, Ben warned. Destiny, talk loud till they hear us. Destiny gave it her all. She stood up next to Romy and said as loud as she could, Romy girl, you and Julio are the bomb. You coming over again tonight at 6? Go on girl. Julio, if you had a car, you wouldn't have to walk back and forth past London Woods with Romy every night. You know, see y'all. I gotta get to class. She gathered her book and headed for the cafeteria door. She didn't look back. The devil dogs turned abruptly and left through a side door. That was Destiny. Loud and effective, declared Romy. Did they hear? Julio asked, and laughed. They had to hear. You could hear Destiny's big mouth in Egypt. Yeah, I saw them look at each other and give a sign before they left. We're on for tonight, Julio said with tightness in his voice. And I haven't got a thing to wear, Ben cried, trying to lighten the mood. Nobody laughed. Let's meet at my house at 5, Romy said. My mom should be gone to work by then. Don't forget the camera, Ben, Julio reminded him. Gotcha, Ben replied. That's the bell. He gathered his gear and left. I'm so scared, Julio, Romy murmured. I know, me too. Perhaps tonight it will all be over, and we can think about important stuff like pizza or puppies or prom. I hope you're right. See you this afternoon. Adios, Romy. Take care. They left by separate doors. That was chapter 37. Page 192. I got 16 pages left. Chapter 30. Monday, 5 p.m. Ms. Capel was running late. Every Monday she left for shop at 3:30 when Romy got home from school. She liked to be there the afternoon shipments arrived, but she had misplaced her keys and lost half an hour until she checked outside by the dog pen. Max loved keys and had them safely by his side. Romy checked her watch, hoping her mother would hurry. Then the phone rang. It was a friend of her mother's who lived in Ghana. They both laughed and talked for 20 minutes as they planned for a visit to the States. Romy placed her mother's briefcase near the door and tried not to act if she was rushing her. She checked the time again. Her mom hung up the phone, replaced her earring, and checked the hair in the hall mirror. Romy, are you coming to work with me this evening at the store? She asked as she picked up her briefcase and headed to the front door. Romy sometimes rode downtown with her dad before he headed to the studio. He'd drop her off at the boutique, and Romy would work a couple of hours or do her homework in the back room. No, Mom, not tonight. Romy tried to smile and look perfectly natural. Dad's already gone and Julio's coming over to study. We were awfully quiet last evening. I thought we might have rented a movie, but it seemed like you just want to be alone. Is everything okay? There's no problem with Julio, is there? No, of course not. Romy checked her watch. No, of course not. Romy checked her watch again. We've just been talking, getting to know each other better. Julio's dad is a little hard to get along with, he says. Romy explained. Trouble at home? Ms. Capel stood at the front door. Her hand was on the knob. Not really, just the usual stuff. It's hard adjusting to a new city. I know that must be rough for him. I'm glad he's found you as a friend. Ms. Capel opened the front door and jumped back. With a start, Julio stood there, smiling with uncertainty. Don't say anything, okay, Mom? Romy whispered. Oh, I wouldn't think of it, her mother whispered back quietly. Hello again, Julio. Good to see you again. Hello, Mrs. Capel. Romy's going to help me with my math. Romy explained quickly. Right, math homework. Julio looked at the ground. He had no book bag and no book. Miss Capel laughed and said, Right, and I'm the king of Siam. Look, I'm already late. I'm going to go down to the shop, check the delivery, and help Maisha close up. I should be back by 8. Fine, Mom. We'll be here. We might go for a walk or something, but that's all. Romy wished her mother would hurry up and leave. You know I trust you, Romy, but you know I'm not real comfortable with just the two of you in the house. She looked Romy straight into the eye. I hear you, Mom. I'm going to check on the puppies, do her homework, then go for a walk. That sounds great, as long as we're on the same page. She kissed her daughter on the cheek. I'm out of here. She stopped once more. Romy clenched her fist in nervous tension. Oh, Julio. How's the puppy? Just fine. We named her Taco. Cute name. See you, kids. See you, kids. Dad's at the station. He doesn't have to do late news tonight, so he should be home in a couple of hours. Okay, Mama. See you. Romy watched her mother's car ease out in the driveway. She breathed a huge sigh of relief. I was afraid she'd never leave, she told Julio. Ben and Destiny are due here any minute. She tilted his head. Wait, I hear Ben's car. Can't mistake it. From the distance they could hear a rumbling, booming sound of a bass drum. It got louder as it approached. What is that noise? Romy asked in disbelief. Julio laughed. Ben just got his speakers at a garage sale. They came out of a tore down movie theater. The sound was almost deafening as Ben turned the corner. He said Ben owned the ugliest car in Cincinnati. It was brown, the color of dirt. The front bumper was missing and a huge dent creased the trunk. Rust dotted the sides like blotches of disease. It sputtered and coughed and wheezed as it made its way down to the street at Romy's house. But that noise was overpowered by the sound of 812 Overture playing at the loudest possible volume. Neighbors peeked out of the window to see what had made such a commotion. Romy covered her ears. He's got enough sound to broadcast at the stadium. That's Ben, chuckled Julio. Also covers up the sound of his bad fan belt and reconditioned engine. His car stops every other mile. Destiny got out of the car gingerly, checking to see that her jacket didn't catch on the coat hanger that Ben used for a door latch. The sound of symphonies ceased suddenly as Ben turned the motor off. He jumped out of the other side. Romy shook with laughter as he watched the expression on Destiny's face, which was a mixture of disbelief and exhilaration. Destiny looked at Ben with awe. Do you drive like that all the time, Ben? Sure, I like noise, he said simply. Did you like it? Well, that was an experience I'll never forget, Destiny laughed. Actually, it was live. We'll have to do that again sometime when my senses recover. They walked up the steps to Romy's house. What's shaking, Destiny? Romy was still chuckling. My ears. I think I used up all the hearing I've got for the next 30 years, replied Destiny. But it was pretty awesome too. I could feel the drums as they played. Ben was pleased. You got it, Destiny. That's the idea. I can hear and feel every single instrument. So could the folks in Spring Grove Cemetery, added Romy. She let them in the house for a moment. Each one of them was silent. They just looked at each other, thinking of the dangers that might occur that evening. Julio spoke first. Did you bring the camera, Ben? Yep, right here. Ben took a small black box out of his pants pocket. It fit in the palm of his hand. Just push this button, slip it in your shirt pocket, and forget it. It has a filter that can see through material like shirts, and it picks up any sounds within about 100 feet. Romy was impressed. This is no regular camera recorder, she said. Of course not, replied Ben. It was developed for spies in the Middle East. My dad got it from a Japanese dealer at Specialty Items. Wow, a spy camera? Let me see. Destiny took the small camera and peered through the viewfinder in the back. She saw a perfectly clear picture of Romy's living room. When she pushed the little red button on the top, she could see extreme close-ups of her friends. She turned the camera to Ben. He noticed she was looking at him, and he grinned. Suddenly embarrassed, she took the camera on Max, who slipped in the back door again. Romy looked doubtful. Will my dad be able to transfer that to tape? No problem. You can copy it onto a regular sized tape. It will play on any VCR. Ben reassured her. Romy sat down on the sofa, and Destiny plopped down beside her. Ben grabbed a chair, but Julio looked uncomfortable. Sit here, Julio. Destiny offered it as she scooted to the end of the sofa. Romy won't mind. Romy finally sat between the two girls, grinning at both of them. Julio began. Okay, what's the plan? Let's go over this one more time. We walk, we talk, we hope they show, Romy said, simplifying the whole matter. Then what? Persisted Julio. We hope they threaten us like they did yesterday. Then we tape them and do it. Julio continued. Suppose they want to do more than push us around. They had at least one gun yesterday and looked very real. Destiny responded with determination. That's where I jumped in. I got my cellular phone and I double checked the battery. I can call for help with just one button. We'll be right behind you, driving slowly, Ben added. In Ben's car, Lord be with us, Romy laughed. We'll never let you out of our sight. Promise, Ben declared, trying to reassure them. Julio took a deep breath and looked at Romy. He took her hand in his. Are you ready? He asked. She squeezed his hand and exhaled. Let's go, she said with more bravery than she felt. Chapter 39, page 199. We got 9 pages left. Oh. Just 9 more pages. 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 Alright. Monday, 6 p.m. The walk by London Woods. Julio and Romiette walked slowly down the long path that ran past London Woods. Destiny and Ben followed a few yards behind. Ben's car coughing and sputtering, but moving steadily. Ben agreed that his music would make him rather noticeable, so all was quiet except for the occasional backfires. The weather was cool and Romy was glad she had brought her jacket. The sky was overcast and gloomy. Heavy clouds covered what was left of the sun, and darkness was falling early. Romy shivered and Julio placed his arm around her shoulders. She moved closer to him. Are you cold? He asked her. Not anymore, she replied with a smile. He kept his arm loosely around her shoulder as they walked. Julio, I want to tell you something, Romy began. I'm really glad we met. Strange things computers do these days. He grinned and looked at her. Me too. You have given spice to my life. Seems like we have plenty of those spice days. Maybe a little too much pepper, Romy joked. Or hot sauce? Romy pretended he had a bottle of hot sauce in his hand and was drinking it right from the bottle. Yeah, you and your hot sauce, Romy laughed. That'll cure those gangbangers. Then remembering why they were out made her suddenly serious. Julio, do you think they'll show? Yeah, they'll be here, Julio replied, thinking back angrily to how they had been treated yesterday. Everything was strangely quiet. Romy and Julio glanced behind them, looking for Ben's car. It sat around 2 blocks behind them. It had stopped. Ben was looking under the hood, scratching his head, and looked as if Destiny was pointing out what he should check. She glanced often to check on Julio and Romy as well. She slowed down so as not to get too far ahead. It was almost dark. The street lights had clicked on, and the shadows from the trees made Sunday afternoon walk in the sunlight seem quite pleasant. Julio grabbed Romy's hand again. The same electricity that she had felt the very first time he held her hand buzzed through her lightning once more. He felt it too. He glanced at her face. Her eyes, which were honey brown, and her nose, which crinkled when she smiled. He touched the soft brown tender of her hair that curled and circled her face. She sighed slowly. She said nothing, but her eyes never left his. Julio glanced toward a small dirt path that led from the walkway into the woods. He whispered, Romy, look. Let's check out that tree over there. She looked to where he was pointing. Julio, there are a million other trees in the distance. Can you be more specific? That one, he smiled. The one with the brown trunk and the skinny branches. Oh, sure, that one. Romy was perplexed. Why was he so interested in trees all of a sudden? She wanted to grow roots right there on that sidewalk and never leave that spot. Still holding her hand, Julio pulled her gently toward the narrow trail. This one, right here, down this little path. Look, Romy, you have to see this. She tried to peer through the dark woods. What is it? She asked, but then protested as Julio led her about 2 yards down the trail. Romy shivered again, not from fear, and not from cold, but from the closeness of Julio in the darkness. If we leave the road, Ben and Destiny can't see us, she said weakly. If we leave the road, Ben and Destiny can't see me kiss you. Julio replied softly as he pulled her to him. She inhaled slowly. His lips touched hers lightly. The kiss became a flower that blossomed and bloomed in the darkness. Oh, Julio, was all Romy could say. He murmured her name, and he held her. All his anger, fear, and frustration melted on that dark evening as he held Romiette in his arms. She had never felt so alive, so aware of the sounds of branches swaying in the chilly wind, of the smell of the damp earth below them. He touched her face with his fingers, traced her lips with his fingertips. She could tell she was smiling in the darkness. Yup, it was hot sauce, he teased her. Right there on your lips. I had to get it off, you know? That was lipstick, she teased back. Hot sauce, he said slowly. Lipstick, she protested weakly. His lips searched for hers once more in the darkness. They forgot about their problems, the gang, even Ben and Destiny, who now seemed so far away. They were only aware of each other, of the bright and sparkling warmth of that moment, of the fresh, new joy of that kiss. You are my hot sauce, he whispered in her ear. I love the way you say things, she whispered in return. Romy wanted that moment to last forever, but she knew that they'd better head back. Let's get back on the road, she said, confidently. We don't want Ben and Destiny to get worried. Hold my hand, Julio. Hold my hand. Julio held her hand tightly as he held her back to the sidewalk. Do you see them? Romy asked. Very little light remained in the sky. It would be night soon, and the darkening clouds, increasing winds indicated a storm was on its way. Romy, though, felt safe and warm. The whole world glowed in spite of the oncoming storm at night. Julio peered into darkness. Yeah, I can see them. They're pushing the car. A lot of good they are for protection. I can't wait to hear Destiny complain about this one. Should we go help them? Nah, Julio answered. They're doing just fine. They'll be here in a few minutes, so that gives us time for just one more taste of hot sauce. He grabbed her waist and quickly kissed her once more. They gazed each other in the light of the street lamp, and grinned. The moment was shattered suddenly by the blast of car horn. Julio and Romy jumped with surprise and moved very close to each other. It wasn't Ben's car that pulled up next to them. However, it was the black Cadillac with the Devil Dog gang. It approached from the north, spun around, did a sharp U-turn, and rolled smoothly into a stop directing in front of them. The car had never even passed Ben and Destiny. Romy's heart, which was still fluttering from Julio's touch, began to pound. Julio, determined to protect Romy at all costs, planted his feet firmly on the sidewalk and angrily awaited the approach of gang members. He reached onto his front shirt pocket and clicked the video camera on. All was silent. There was no sign of Ben and Destiny. Stay calm and relaxed, he whispered to Romy. Make them talk. The more they say, the more we have to use against them. Where are Ben and Destiny? Romy worried. Shouldn't they be here by now? Suppose they don't get here in time. Relax, Julio's voice was soothing. Relax, Julio's voice was soothing and soft. They'll get here. They've got the phone to call for help. The doors of the Cadillac opened, and as before, the four boys got out in unison. They looked serious and threatening in the dim of light in the street lamp. The last to step out of the car was Malika. Romy gasped. Malika took her place next to Terrell. Terrell spoke. Romiette, he said in a lazily, gravely voice. I thought we had you schooled. What's up with this Tex-Mex boy? Why are you still hanging with him? I told you, Terrell. I will not be intimidated by you or the Devil Dogs or anybody else. Romy was so angry she was so close to tears. Julio stood protectively near her, next to her. And Malika, what are you doing here? You're going to be sorry you got involved in this. You're way out of your league, girlfriend. Malika replied viciously. No, honey. You the one who's gonna be sorry for this. This is my league. Terrell smiled and put his arm around her. He looked relaxed and in control. The Devil Dogs rule and you gotta learn that. Julio took a step forward. Look, Terrell, why don't you and the Devil Dogs just leave Romy and me alone? We won't bother you and we won't report you to the cops. Terrell spat on the ground. What cops? He replied with derision. What are they gonna do to us? Devil Dogs rule, Tex. and we about to show you how. We try to warn you, but you gotta be taught a lesson. What do you plan to do? Romy asked, fear making her voice quaver a bit. Taro was pleased to hear the fear, and he knew that Julio, although tough, was helpless in face of a gun. He barked his commands quickly. Rashad, Mookie, Iceman, the plan. Do it. Malika, in the car. She obeyed. Instantly, the three young men moved forward. The two grabbed Julio before he could react. He fought and cursed and struggled, and then he felt a cold steel of a gun on his neck. He stood very still as they tied his arms. The one called Rashad grabbed Romy and roughly yanked her arms behind her. She screamed, "Get your hands off! Julio, help!" Her screams were muffled and silenced suddenly as Taro tossed a dirty sweatshirt over his head. He gasped in confusion, and terror as she felt herself being picked up and carried by two seats of arms. Julio tried to twist toward her, but the barrel of the gun pushed deeper into his neck. He was frantic and kicked his strong legs at his attackers. Taro, however, moved behind Julio and struck him just behind his knees. Julio fell forward into his face, but continued to fight. He butted Mookie with his head and rolled over so that his legs kicked Iceman in the shin. "Romy!" Julio yelled. "I won't let them!" And at that felt a sickening thud of the butt of the gun hit the back of his head. Julio faced the sky, but the darkness had taken him, and the videotape had recorded it all. The whole ordeal took less than 3 minutes. Taro looked around and saw two figures pushing a car in distance. "Hurry up!" he yelled at his gang. "Get them in the car before somebody comes. Let's get out of here." Page 206. Chapter 40. The 6 o'clock evening news, Monday. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Channel 6. This is the news. I'm Cornell Capella, and with me is Nanette Norris. Good evening, Nanette. Hello, Cornell. In the news tonight, the Reds got a new stadium, the Bengals got a new stadium, and the plans are being made to get the Olympics to come to Cincinnati in the year 2016. The Olympics? Gee, what a hassle that would be. All those people in the traffic. Thank you, Nanette. I think we have several years before we have to worry about that reality. Perhaps then you will have made it primetime news and moved to New York. Oh no, Cornell. I couldn't possibly leave the TV6 News team. What would you do without me? I don't know, Nanette. Life around here certainly would not be the same. Also, tonight we could hear a special report on teenage gangs in our city. TV6 has been investigating the story for some time. It seems that threat may be overrated. Although our schools have some problems with guns and teen-related crimes, we have found no real evidence of the existence of established gangs in our cities. Our children do not have the same pressures as students of Los Angeles or New York. For example, we are fortunate to be able to handle these problems in school through normal channels of discipline. We will continue this report as our investigation continues. Back to you, Nanette. We'll be back in a moment with exclusive footage of a deer struck on I-75. Details in a moment. Struck, Nanette, not stuck. A car hit a deer on the road. And then the deer stuck to the highway? Let's pause here for a station break. We'll be right back. Woo! Okay, page 208. Chapter 41. That's all. We made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. We made it.